Alright, let's make a pop art portrait in the style of Andy Warhol. You guys have some options as to what you can choose from. You can choose from D. Conawita, Queen Elizabeth I, Queen Elizabeth II, Sir Winston Churchill, Theresa May, Benjamin Franklin, George Washington, Franklin Roosevelt, or Donald Trump. I decided to make my portrait about Queen Elizabeth II. So I did a Google image search for her. There's her name. You want to try to find a background where there's not much in it. Something like this, where it's totally solid. This is not a good example because there's too much, we call this noise back there. Likewise, even though there's a black background here, there's too much throne behind her head. I'm going to do a young image, or a young version of Queen Elizabeth II. So I'm going to click here. I'm going to click right here where it says View Image. And then I'm going to right click and save this image to somewhere on my computer where I know where it's going to be. Now I'm ready to start the digital manipulation portion of the project. Okay, now I'm ready to get started in Pixlr. I go to pixlr.com/editor, and I'm going to click on Open Image from Computer, and then I have to go find my image. There it is, and I'm going to click Open, and it should appear right there. Now my next step is to change the image size so it's not too big. So I'm going to click right here where it says Image, and choose Image Size. I'm going to make sure this number right here says 400. And then I'm not going to change anything else, and I'm going to click OK. There she is. Now I need to make sure there's room to add 3 more portraits so I can have 4. So I'm going to go to Image, Canvas Size, and I'm going to multiply each number right here by 2. So 400 times 2 is 800, and 511 times 2 is 1022. I'm going to make sure this block is highlighted, not this one or this one, but the top left, and I'm going to click OK. Now I have a lot of white space. This is my layers box, and I want to get rid of where this says background. So I double click right here on the bike lock, and then I'm going to double click here, and I'm going to name that 1. Now I want to make this look like a pop art portrait, so I'm going to go to Filter, and I'm going to choose Art Poster. And do you see what it's doing? I can change this up a little bit and get it to where I like it to be. And I can also change the color. I think I'm going to go with this weird blue color, and I'm going to click OK once I like it. Now, if you have a second color pair, like I don't really like that black, I can just click up there, see that, and it highlights everything. If I hold down the Shift button, I can get more. And the more I click, the more it's going to get rid of that. See, that's why you don't want too many colors in your background. And then I can use my eyedropper tool to select this color and take a paintbrush and make the background all one color. And I can even do other little parts too if I don't like them either. You really want to get this first image exactly the way you want it to make the rest of it a lot easier. So if I don't like these, I can take my square marquee tool and get rid of them that way. I also could just use my paintbrush. If you ever have marching ants and you don't want them, you go Edit, Deselect All. So let me make my brush smaller and just get rid of all that. I don't need every last bit of it. Okay, so now I'm ready for the next step. I'm going to right click right here, and I'm going to choose Duplicate Layer. I'm going to double click, and I'm going to change this to 2. Alright, now I'm going to get my Move tool, which is in the top right hand corner, click on that, click, and I have 2 images. If I can't see everything, I can just sort of drag this out. Whoops. I can also do View, Zoom out to see everything better. Okay. Now I'm going to click on my Magic Wand tool, click on the color. You might have to hold down the Shift button to get everything, remember? Okay. And now I'm going to change the color to something else. I'm going to pick another color. I'm going to pick pink. Click OK. Click your paint tool. You might need to make the paintbrush bigger. And you can change the color. Simple as that. Looks like I forgot her lips. Now you might like it like that, or you might not. You have to decide. I think I would like to change them. Okay. And now I'm going to repeat that process. I'm going to right click, choose duplicate layer, double click, change the name to 3, get my move tool, click, move it, get my magic wand tool, highlight everything I want to highlight, and then I'm going to change the color. Maybe this time I will use purple, my paint tool, and paint it. Now remember, if I don't want those marching lines there, I go to Edit, Deselect All. I'm going to right click on the layer, duplicate layer, double click, call it 4, get my move tool, click, and move it. Oops, I got a little bit of pink that I don't want. It's really easy to get rid of that. Get my square marquee tool, highlight it, and go Edit, Cut. Okay. Line it up. Get my magic wand tool. What if I did like this kind of weird gold color? Would be kind of cool. And then paint it. Pretty cool, right? And you can fuss and change all the things. If you want to change details, you can change that too. You just have to make sure that you're on the right layer, and you can tell from right here. You might want to crop when you get done. Like, I don't like this extra white, so I just get my crop tool, which is in the top left-hand corner of my toolbox, crop it to where I want it to be, hit enter, and now I'm ready to save to turn this in. I just go to File, Save. From the Dropbox, I choose PNG. Your teacher will tell you how he or she wants it saved. And then you're going to click OK and choose Save. And now you have created your very own pop portrait of a famous leader.